You've probably heard of the Bermuda Triangle before. That mysterious part of the Atlantic Ocean that has been blamed for countless disappearances of ships and planes. But what is it really? Just a scary story that grew bigger over the years, or an actual place where strange things happen? Let's dive into it. The Bermuda Triangle covers an area between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. If you look at a map, it really does form a triangle. At first glance, it's just ocean, blue water as far as the eye can see. But the stories that come from this area are anything but ordinary. One of the most famous cases happened back in 1945. 5 American bombers took off from Florida for a routine training mission. The weather was fine, the pilots were experienced, nothing seemed unusual, but soon, things went wrong. The pilots reported their compasses were going crazy. They didn't know which way was west or even where the coastline was anymore. The last messages they sent sounded confused and panicked. Then, silence. The squadron, known as Flight 19, completely vanished. What makes it even creepier is that a rescue plane was sent out to search for them, and that plane also disappeared. No wreckage, no bodies, nothing. To this day, no one has ever found clear evidence of what exactly happened. And this isn't the only case. In 1918, a massive US Navy ship called the USS Cyclops vanished with over 300 people on board. Again, no distress calls, no trace left behind. Just gone. Over the years, there have been many similar reports. Cargo ships, private yachts, even passenger planes, all lost in this so-called cursed triangle. Now, of course, not everyone believes in curses or paranormal forces. Scientists have offered a bunch of explanations. Some point out that the Bermuda Triangle is a region with unpredictable weather. Storms can appear suddenly, waves can reach enormous heights, and visibility can drop to almost zero. For older ships and planes, that was a recipe for disaster. Another theory involves something called magnetic anomalies. In certain places on Earth, compasses don't always point north. Imagine being a pilot over endless ocean, your instruments going wild, and suddenly you don't know which way is home. That kind of confusion can be deadly. There's also the idea of methane gas trapped under the seafloor. If it suddenly erupts, it could cause the water's density to drop. A ship floating one second could sink like a rock the next. It sounds wild, but it's scientifically possible. But let's be honest, scientific theories are not nearly as exciting as the legends. Many people believe the Bermuda Triangle hides something far stranger. Some say it's the site of the lost city of Atlantis, and that some ancient technology is interfering with our modern machines. Others think it's a portal to another dimension. And of course, there are always those who believe aliens are behind it all, using the triangle as a kind of doorway. Do any of these ideas have proof? Not really, but they keep the mystery alive. Here's something interesting though. If you look at actual data, the number of accidents in the Bermuda Triangle isn't really higher than in other busy parts of the ocean. In other words, it might just be the power of storytelling. A few strange disappearances retold and exaggerated over time created this legend that refuses to die. Still, the fact remains, some ships and planes really did vanish without explanation. And even with modern navigation and satellite tracking, people are still drawn to the mystery. The Bermuda Triangle has become less of a scientific question and more of a cultural icon, something that sparks our imagination. Personally, I think that's the real power of the Bermuda Triangle. It's not about whether it's real or not. It's about the way it makes us wonder. When we hear about Flight 19 or the Cyclops, part of us feels that mix of fear and fascination. Could there really be a place on Earth where the normal rules don't apply? Or is it just the ocean, reminding us how small and fragile we really are? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. The Bermuda Triangle remains one of the most famous mysteries of our world, and maybe that's the point. Sometimes, not knowing is what makes a story truly unforgettable.